Okay, so this is the fifth part. We're gonna render this object that we have created. The first thing I will do is just probably render it as it is and see what happens. It's straightforward. As you know, we haven't assigned the mental array render, so it's taking the little like squarey shapes. For that, we have to change in here in display render settings window. First thing to change always is from render using to from Maya Software to mental array, and if we close that and we render it already, it's just all the difference, no? Okay, this is the first step. Let's go to the main settings for the render. As you know, well, it takes a little while, as you know, if we go to the indirect line or quality, because it has to read all the components within mental array. What we're going to do is just change the different configurations that we have changed in past rendering processes. Very straightforward. We will see more of better quality renderings in the future. I'm going to create here in the physical sun sky under indirect lighting, and immediately when we do that and we go to the outliner, which is, as you know, window outliner here, and it comes this window, or you go to this shortcut here and it shows the same outliner. It immediately creates this sun direction, which is an object that we will see afterwards. That will give us quality of intensity and other factors that relate to the sun, no? We're going to go to quality, and under anti-aliasing quality and ray trace skyline quality, we're going to place 2 inter and say triangle filter, and on the common, as you know, we have to go and say here in under image size 1500 1200 inter, and we close this. We know now that it's going to have a sky, so if we actually render this very quick, I'm going to pause it because it may take a little while. Okay, so this is what shows up, and this is without giving any material. Already looks quite interesting. We're going to learn also how to a very little dummy trick to get rid of the sky, and we'll see how if we can do that in a more professional way. Okay, let's keep on. Let's do the floor because the shades are kind of lost in the atmosphere. So if we do a polygon plane, we select it here, and in under we Control A to go to the channel box, press the inputs and change the subdivisions width and height to a certain number. We right click, go to edges, select an edge and loop it by pressing once again the right arrow, and we say shift right click extrude edge. The extruding gizmo comes and we take it up, and now we press R for scaling and control the green guy to make it bigger. We press 3 to see the soft version, and we go to object mode. We can make it a little bigger and higher, and now we can have like a way of having a floor that also has a scenery in the background, so we can place it in a material that we want. Let's go to the material editor now, and let's, well, I created these ones for the last time, so I just delete them. I'm gonna go to mental array here. In the 2008 version, it's actually up here, so you maintain press and you go to mental array nodes, so you go to materials, and we're gonna create 2 MIA material X, and we're gonna actually select them, Control A, and we're gonna change their names to floor X inter, and the other one's gonna be building X inter. So for the floor, I'm gonna go to the presets here and say I want to make finish replace, and I'm gonna touch the floor and right click on the material, assign material to selection, immediately changes, and here you can do it in either way. Let's just assign a material, right click, also assign material to selection. It's gonna change immediately. If we press the building and go to its properties, we can go to preset and say a glossy plastic, and immediately changes the color as well. Let's make it a different, whatever color you want. I want a bluish this time. I kind of like the idea. let's go to the main window down here, and this one option here, this button resolution gate, gives you pretty much the proportion of how the rendering window is going to be, and it tells you information about the resolution size. You can also press this guy, you can see it much better, but doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so now if we render this, I'm going to pause it again. We'll see the results. Okay, so this is what comes out. I see 2 or 3 things that we should change still. You see the line is kind of straight lines forming a curve. We don't want that, of course. That's the smooth mesh, as you know. It's a kind of burned in white, and I want to change a little bit the shadow. It kind of corresponds exactly with the edge, which I don't like it very well. Let's see how we change that. First of all, if you go to the outliner down here or in the windows, press the sun direction, and if we press 4, we see the wireframe, and we press F, we go directly there. We don't have to do this, but just want you guys to see what I'm going to change. If we go to sun direction within the attributes of the sun, we can change in rotation axis under transform attributes to a small number. You see it changes the orientation. Be careful with these changes, because very sudden you render it may turn black, because it's also like recognizing time of the day. Depending on the orientation, it will give different colors to the scene. Let's select also now the object to go back by pressing F and zoom in to the back into our. Okay, let's do something like that. Okay, nice. Another thing is the smooth mesh. If we press the object as we have now, and it changes the attribute editors, we can actually Control A, go to the channel box, and no, sorry, to Control A to the smooth mesh options. Let me shrink this. We're actually in polysurface shapes 2, and we need to go here to smooth mesh to get into the division levels. From 2, we actually have to take it to. Sorry for that. We have to take it to 3 or to 4. The higher, the more the render is going to take to render now. So I'm placing it to 3. Actually, I'll split it to 4, and so it's it even takes time to actually recognize the number of subdivisions. Another thing is kind of burned. So if we go to the sun again, and we go to MIA physical sun sky, we can reduce this as much as we want to 0.6 or something. And I want to change a little bit the shadows that were quite too sharp. So in the last tab of the sun, you can go to physical sun and change the shadow softness to 4 or something, and increase the samples always whenever you change this number to 20 or even 30. What we can do now is also go to the materials and change slightly the floor color to a little bit darker. Okay, so now we can actually render again our final shot and see how it goes. Press render, and I'll pause it again. Okay, so this is what comes out. I think it's more than this. And another background that we could have done is a cylinder, put it inside, and these chains won't have been so immediate here, will be more gradual. But I think it's very nice. So I would just recommend saving the image and saving it as a TIFF file. It's the best option for you guys to save it. Okay, that's the end of this tutorial. To floor.